So this is the car we're about to fit the deployable side steps. We've also got mudguards to fit. This is a Range Rover 2013 L405. The panel for the side steps actually comes off here. This panel here comes off. We've got a new panel on there. There's two brackets each side. The motor bracket goes at the back. And we'll show you in here how to fit these onto the car. The ECU goes in the boot. Seems to be a plug and play, so we'll get on with that. So this is the ECU. That's the way it sits in the car, looking from the back. You've got the connection into the car here. You've got that connection there to the right hand rear bracket. We've got the ECU, and the longer cable obviously goes to the left hand side car bracket for the step. So I've removed all the panels, both left and right side, the wheel well liner from the spare wheel, the ECU to connect to the car. The connection's over on the right hand side. You'll see that it's basically a plug that sits in here, and it's got a protective cap on it. This is the view from the rear, the right hand driver's seat. You can see the cable, it's pinned onto there, so there's a protective cover on that you would just take off, and the ECU just plugs straight into that. The grommet here, you see where that is, just at the rear right of the car. That's where the cable's going down. So we're going to just lift this carpet and run it down through here and put it into that grommet. We could push that out and it'll just fall down, and we'll catch it and we'll take the protective plastic off at the bottom. So the connection to the actual bracket itself has got these built-in grommets on them. That grommet will go into that hole, keep it in position. So there it is, I've got the grommet in, quite secure. It's as simple as that. Just need to feed the wire up through this carpet, keep that tidy, install everything back on there. So this is where I've put the ECU, just under there. I'll just pack that with a bit of foam, and the other cable's running below here where that ducting is, and there's other cable still to go in, and the connection will be there. So that should be fairly, what they're asking you to do is to drill and put in that panel, which I don't really want to do, so I've done another one, so it's fine there, not any problems. So what we need to do is to take this panel off here, and this side panel here comes off. These are just push on plugs, and there's some bolts. Not sure if you can see them.
The camera.
Sorry, that's just set off. That should pop out. Like that. So remember correctly, I have to get that bit off. Right.
I think you do, aye. I think there's not a screw in there.
Might be a screw in there. So we're going to take these off. This just pops off here.
It just pops off. Just be careful not to crack it.
That's three. That's the top three out. Now, these things here are disposable because they're so brittle.
Does that not about the slides to the side?
Sideways, aye.
Yeah.
It's supposed to come sideways, but
Is it to the back or to the front?
to the back. Remember the last time we just broke these?
Aye, but we had the thing off at the time, but... What's your wing?
I don't see why we
They're sacrificial.
about breaking these.
So they...
That bit we're getting replaced, and these come out. Okay.
Hold on.
I don't know what you want to do. This now should pop out.
So you've got 11 that they would take off, haven't you?
Yeah, these ones here.
Aye, so both inner and outer. 5 or 6 nuts and 5 or 6 bolts. You need to take the rest of this off as well. So side routes full of nuts.
Thought we'd take the opportunity to paint it while the panels are off. This is the air tank side. We've used Hammerite smooth paint there directly on the surfaces. So these are one side of the brackets. On the left here we've got the bracket with the motor on it. And on the right side, we've got just a bracket that swings freely. Let you see that. So this is the bracket here. It'll basically pivot. So each bracket, this bracket here has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mounting points, and this is where the actual step bolts onto the bracket. This bracket here is the motor, goes at the back, doesn't move, and it's only got 3 mounting points, 1, 2, 3. These here, if I'm actually screwing on the plastic cover at the bottom, which we'll need to take off and probably cut, and that's what we're going to do. So that's us got one bracket on. This is the rear left. Just putting some copper slip or copper grease on that just to prevent any corrosion. We used the 3 bolts there. Took us a bit of time to tap them out. It seemed to fit on properly. The bolts are in the right position. And this is the electrical connection. That's the wire coming down from the grommet. It just connects straight on there and tucks up into that void up there. Right, so this is the front of the car, and we've marked it here to cut this bit out. That goes back onto the car, then we go to that side and we'll be cutting a bit out here from there to there. We put that back on and that back on. I'll show you us cutting that. So that's us now got the covers on, the 2 brackets are on. You can see where the cuts we've made haven't run about the bracket to allow it to move freely. This is the rear bracket, and it's just a matter of bolting that on, and bracket's coming out, so all we've got to do now is mount the step. Right. That's one bolt in.
That's it, that's the back bolt.